Good morning and welcome to another episode of Culterra's products. Today we'll be repotting an African violet with Culterra's African violet mix. So, the first thing to know is that African violets enjoy a well-drained medium and are very sensitive to rot. That includes both the leaves and the roots. When should you repot an African violet? So, as with most plants, if you see signs of it becoming root bound or leaves turning yellow, basically you're just paying careful attention to your African violet will indicate when it may need to be repotted. Now, African violets are fairly slow growers, so you shouldn't need to repot it into a larger pot every year, but that doesn't mean it may not enjoy fresh soil on an annual basis. Right, let's get started. We're going to move this guy into this pot. Now, usually you would wait for it to finish flowering, but I've got this guy here today, so it's good timing, so we're just going to do it today. He actually looks really good and happy in this pot, but for the sake of the video, we're going to repot him anyway. Just so that you know, you rather wait for your African violet to finish flowering or to show signs of not looking so happy. Right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to put some of our African violet mix into this guy. He's quite tall, so we'll need a fair amount. And we're just going to gently loosen the roots with a bit of pressure on the sides. When you do this, it's good to make sure the soil is not completely dry so that it doesn't all just, fall away, but also not too soggy. Once it's loose, very gently, I'm gonna ease him out of his pot. I'm just gonna turn him upside down a little bit. There we go. Right, then we're just gonna pop him in here, making sure we've got the right soil level. I think that's perfect. Okay. If you have any dead leaves or rotten sections of your African violet when you repot it, you just use a pair of clean, sterilized secateurs and trim those away. And then I'm just going to put fresh soil around the edges here. And you always want to firm the soil down slightly just to eliminate any air pockets, but not too hard, because the roots, for ease of growth, do still need some aeration in the soil. But it is important to put some pressure, otherwise when you water, you'll notice your soil will sink away and you'll need to top it up again. So always apply some pressure and just get your soil level right from the beginning. Oh, that was pretty simple, really. I'm just going to dust him off here, and then because we've replanted, we're going to give it a bit of a water. And there we have it. Some tips to remember when caring for your African violet. Water it regularly before it dries out completely, but don't overwater it so that it's soggy and sitting in water the whole time. Try to avoid getting the leaves wet, as that does make them more susceptible to rotting. And in terms of light, an African violet enjoys bright light, but indirect. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Culterra's products.